We are the dead guys. We are the dog guys. We don't give a shit about anybody. Kill your parents. Kill your parents. We are the dog guys. We're the fucking dog guys. If you don't like it, get the fuck out. Get the fuck out.
Door guys, this is Vinny.
This is Shaun.
And today we have with us a very special guest, our comic.
We are the...
Oops.
the revamp.
We have a very special guest, Gabe Biel, and a longtime friend who happened to be in town this week, and I didn't know, so he graced us to be on the podcast today, Mr. Ercell Ivanhoe. Welcome, guys.
Hello.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Glad to have you. And for those listening at home may notice that I did the intro, and Davis is not here. And that's because Davis, he had to leave today during the show. Yeah. He claimed something about his wife. He posted that in the group chat. But Andres reached out to me and told me that apparently Davis was lying and that his AIDS is flaring up again. Yeah.
The old AIDS flare up.
Apparently it does that, I guess. I don't know.
Ruins every podcast recording. Everything.
So
dang it, AIDS.
We'll see what happens. But welcome, Gabe, and I'm glad to have you here. I met you. You were here about 2 months ago.
Yeah, it was back in March.
March, okay.
Yeah, sometimes March. Yeah.
Came through with Josh Blue,
That's
and
right.
I actually came to that show, and I was like, "Oh, this guy's fucking hilarious." And
Thank you. Appreciate it.
And Davis said the same thing. The whole staff was like, "Oh, this guy's great," and all weekend. And then we had a falling out this weekend of who was going to be here, and then I saw that your name was posted. I was like, I know that dude. And then I Googled you, and then your picture came up. I was like, oh fuck, Gabe. And so then I immediately text Kyle. I said to Davis, I was like, hey, the guy that came with Josh Blue is coming. Should we get him on a podcast? And he was like, fuck yeah, we should. So Colleen sent me your number, and then here we are.
That's right. Yeah. It's good to be back. It's good to see you guys. I love Omaha. This is a great place to be.
So was last time your first time in Omaha?
That's right. Yeah. So Josh brought me here. He called me and said, "Do you want to come feature for me in Omaha?" Because I follow Josh on his Instagram and Facebook. So he's, yeah, I'll take you to Omaha. I used to live in Iowa, so I know a lot of people from Iowa. They moved to Omaha, so it's just like a homecoming for me.
Right. Yeah. Iowa, Omaha, Nebraska, very Midwest, same thing, yeah.
Right.
And speaking of homecomings, Ercell, you were here when I started, forever ago, and then you came here, and then you left, and now you're back in town for a while. Are you back? Are you just back for the weekend, or how'd you end up back here?
I'm back for... First of all, I can't front. This is crazy sitting here on this stage, yo. Like this room, I can't lie. This room is so special to me. Like I'm not even lie. Like this is like this room. Like getting up on stage, it was one like low. I literally fought tears.
Yeah.
Like this is my home. There's like so many different. That's where I sat the first time I saw Greg Morton. I remember Colleen. I remember I came to open mics. First open mic I came here for a first timer, killed it. Did great, made a great impression. Colleen was like, "You're funny, keep writing, come back." Yep. And then for the next year, I ate it. Every time on stage, I bombed. I could not. So I would get to the side of that stage, and something would happen where like, because this is the real deal. I'm like, this is the stage that every one of my heroes has been on, from the old club back on Dodge to out here. It's like, and so it would get in my head every time I'd come here, and then something happened where I was just like, yo. The Colleen is giving me a green light to come up here and be me.
Right.
And so one day it just kind of clicked. And from that moment on, she gave me a guest set with who was it? One night I came up here with this girl, and Colleen knew I was on a date. This is true story. This is how dope Colleen is. She'll throw you an alley-oop because she understands life.
Oh yeah.
And I came in with this chick I was trying to impress, and she's like, "Ers, you want a guest set?" And she said it like in front of this gal, and I'm just like, "Yes." and here's the thing about the girl was just like, "Oh, word." We walk into clubs and you get on stage. She threw me the greatest alley-oop, and from that guest set moving forward, this room completely changed for me. So it's like coming back to this space, yo. It was like, yo, like hearing my name on the intercom of my club. Like this will always be my club.
Yeah.
I can't like not to make a big deal, but like I'm tripping that I'm on this stage right now in this stage in my life. It couldn't be more perfect timing. So yeah, I'm back.
That's
Must
awesome.
have been a good date that day.
Bro.
Yeah.
No, she dissed the hell out of me. she dissed, bro. She married some scrub. They have they have 3 ugly kids. I'm like, kids are beautiful, but Charles aren't cute. You know what I mean? So it was like, but real talk, it was like it was an impressive moment. But by the time we got back to Lincoln, she was like, let me just change my number.
You bitch.
Yeah, I was like, check. It was terrible, but yeah. This is home. This is home.
Comedy show is where you want to take the first date. Then you don't have to do any work.
Yeah.
Yeah. You just sit back there. She has a good time. Yeah. She's laughing. Somebody else is doing the work.
Yeah.
But you brought her here. Yeah. You said,
and the great thing is you can tell, I mean, especially if it's a first date, if she's laughing at the same stuff you're laughing, then you're in. But if she's not laughing at the shit you're laughing, then you probably need to tell her to leave.
Yeah.
Or vice versa. You know, if she's laughing at shit you don't think is funny, you'd be like, all right, I'm
something not right.
Yeah.
These places are very, you're absolutely right. It's one of those things where it's like, unlike a movie, there's actual engagement.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So it's like you can talk to a screen all day long, but the movie's not going to change. But up here, this is atmosphere.
Yes.
Right.
And it's like, you're right, bro. Like we get that awesome opportunity to create space for people we'll probably never see again. When you think about it.
That's true.
Like somebody went home tonight and got and sealed the deal.
Yeah, because of you. You did
because
something.
of you. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, babe, wasn't that so funny when he and you get those moments, and it's like that like the comedy club is it's such a sacred place.
That's right. Yeah.
So sacred.
I didn't work tonight. How was the crowd? Were they good?
They were fun.
Yeah, it was a good crowd. Yeah.
Friday nights have been, I mean, historically Friday nights are a little odd, especially those Friday late shows.
Friday late.
But, fortunately for us, and I think I mentioned it we had Willie Farrell on, that, we haven't been doing Friday late shows, which, is unfortunate for the club because we're not getting the money, but it was great for the podcast because now we get the headliners are sticking around and we get to record with them and, and you get the added bonus of not having to deal with that late Friday crowd.
That's right.
Friday late.
It was a good show, man. It was a good crowd. Everybody they had a good time.
Yeah. Good.
And so I think that's all that matters.
Yeah, for sure.
They pay to come here and see you, and that's what matters. You give it to them; they deserve it.
That's
so,
true.
Gabe, you said you're from you were in Iowa, and but you talk about it in your act about how you clearly you're not born in Iowa.
He's born in Atlanta.
Yeah. If you don't know what I'm talking about, look him up or go to YouTube, and you will say that's not an Iowa boy.
It's a really funny open joke because you set it up perfectly well. Because everybody they see me on the stage, I'm like, okay, something just off. Yeah. Like, okay, we just wonder what this guy's going to talk about. And then I tell them from Iowa. They're like, no, you're not. I know you're not from Iowa.
I'm not from Iowa.
But no, so I was born in Ethiopia, and I moved to Kenya when I was 13 years old.
Okay.
And then I moved from Kenya to Des Moines, Iowa. So I finished high school and college in Iowa. So right after college, I'm like, this is too cold. I got to go. So I went from a really cold place to a really hot place. So the polar opposite.
Where are you at now?
I'm in Phoenix, Arizona now.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah, it's too hot over there. It's good to be back in Omaha. I like it here.
Oh, yeah, it's beautiful today. You got good weather this weekend.
Until January, like, no, I got to go.
It's already in the hundreds now, right?
Yeah, it's in like the low 90s. The thing about it in Phoenix, when it's 100 degrees or less, it feels good.
Yeah.
It's just when it's 110 and 20, then you just feel like oven. Yeah. So hot. I hate it. Yeah. But the thing about Phoenix is 2 hours away from cool places, so you can drive 2 hours away from Flagstaff. Yeah. Okay. Flagstaff's nice and cool. It's more
Sedona.
like Sedona, yes, beautiful place. It's just the Phoenix Valley area that is so hot. And then you go down south toward Mexico, it gets really hot. So, but I like Phoenix. You can deal with the heat for a few months. The rest of the year is really nice.
Do they have a good comedy scene out there in Phoenix?
Comedy scene is growing.
Really?
Yeah, it's catching up to LA.
Really?
Yeah, so since pandemic came along, kind of screwed things up a little bit.
Sure.
But right now, it's getting back to what it used to be, and the people came up with new ideas. Now we have a lot of comedy clubs in Phoenix, so we get a lot of LA people coming down to Phoenix to do shows because LA is, congested.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people are going to go to LA to do comedy shows. And it's really, really hard to get into a really good show. So they come down to Phoenix, and then we connect with them. So, like, for example, I'll be in LA in September at the Laugh Factory, and then I'll go back again and do the Comedy Store. Yeah. So the proximity to LA what makes it easier. You can't live in LA; it's too expensive.
Right.
But it's only an hour flight from Phoenix.
Yeah. Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah, or you can drive 4 or 5 hours to get there. So the comedy scene in Phoenix is the perfect place you want to be.
Yeah. And so, how far away from Phoenix how far away is Vegas from there?
Vegas is about 4 hours drive, but it's like 45 minutes or an hour flight.
Okay.
So I used to fly to Vegas in the morning, do gambling, go eat some food, and then fly back at night. It's only like 45 minutes. I do like 1 day trip. Back when it was used to be cheap.
Yeah, I was gonna say back when the flights weren't what they are
like
now.
$45 round trip. Right now you can't do that.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And we were talking before we started recording that you met Josh Blue out in Tempe, was it?
Tempe, Arizona. Yeah, he was performing at the Tempe Improv. That was back. I think it was November of last year.
Oh,
and
really?
I like Josh. I've been following Josh for a really long time. I got into comedy by default. I didn't mean to do this.
Tell us that story. Yeah.
You're really good at it. I mean,
Right,
you know.
yeah.
I don't remember my first set on stage because it was by default. I didn't plan to do it. But then God give you different skills.
Come on.
And you find out that you can do this. So I realized I like comedy. I like to laugh. I like to watch comedy. But I never thought I would do it myself.
Right.
So my first set, doing my first set, I'm like, this is fun. Yeah, I like this. This is wonderful. Yeah. So I met Josh because I wanted to see him. A bunch of my friends wanted to see Josh. And so we just kicking ball by the patio outside. And I told him, Josh,
like a soccer ball like he does here?
Yeah. A lot of people don't know this, but Josh is African. He was born in Cameroon.
Really?
No
Yeah.
kidding.
Josh was born in Cameroon.
I did not know that.
Yeah, he's African. He grew up there until he was like a teenager, like 14, I guess.
Really?
Yeah, his mom and dad are missionaries in Africa. So he was born in Cameroon.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go.
That's part of the reason he likes soccer, because
that makes sense.
that's what he started learning right away.
Right.
So that's how we started talking, and he recognized that I'm from Africa. So we started talking. I was like, yeah, I was born in Africa too. I'm like, yeah, my brother, how you doing? And then I told him I'm a comedian, and he was like, maybe I can give you a guest spot. And then I asked him, can I do all weekend? He was like, well, no, let's see if you're funny.
Yeah.
I can hear him say that.
So let's do 5 minutes first, and then see if you're funny.
Yeah, yeah.
So I went up, did strong 5 minutes, and he was like, come back tomorrow. We'll do all weekend. So I did that. We exchanged numbers, and then I followed him on Instagram, Facebook. So I saw that he was coming to Omaha. So I texted him, like, dude, I used to live right by Omaha. I know a lot of people in Omaha. Can I come open for you? And then he gave my number to his manager. I think his name is Mike. So Mike texted me, and it was like, I'm Josh's manager, and Josh wanted you to come and, feature for him at the Funny Bone in Omaha. I'm like, perfect. Let's go. So that was my first time here at the Funny Bone Omaha. And ever since, all the staff, Colin, wonderful, Daisy, wonderful, the Mike guy, everybody just nice people. And the Midwest people, you expect that, yeah.
Well, and you grew up in the Midwest, so
That's
you
right.
you know how to, act like, for some better lack of words, act Midwest. So it's that vibe, that mentality that and you just fit right in.
That's right, yeah. I love it here. I just can't live here.
How does that Midwest mentality go out in Arizona?
Arizona is a mix of people from all over the place.
Gotcha.
So
I've never been.
There's a high turnover. So people go to Phoenix or Arizona for like 2 years, experience it, and then they move away. So there's a lot of implants from somewhere else. Right now, because we have a bunch of bars that are Iowa bars.
Okay.
So when there's Iowa football game, You just go to Iowa bar.
Oh, really?
And then sometime you run into someone that you used to see on campus. Like, hey, dude, I haven't seen you in 10 years. How you doing? Same thing with Nebraska. They have a Nebraska bar, too.
Huh.
So many people from Midwest move to, down south to Phoenix area just to stay away from the cold.
Right.
You have money, you can go back and forth.
Yeah. The snowbirds like to.
Right.
Florida and Arizona is where they'll go.
And you can tell the difference between somebody from the Midwest and somebody from New York. There's a lot of people from New York that moved to Arizona also. So you can tell the vibes. Like, this person is extra nice. He must be from the Midwest.
Yeah.
And then there's people that don't give a crap from New York City. They don't care. You can die on the street. They're not going to even.
They'll walk right over you.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Excuse me.
I've been to New York City. I've seen it. They don't care.
No.
It's just way too many people there.
Uh-huh. Well, they're also busy. They ain't got time for anything but themselves.
They got to go. Keep moving.
Yeah. Or so when you left here, where did you go? Did you went someplace warm too, didn't you?
I went to North Carolina.
Okay. Yeah, that's warmer than
I
here.
went to North Carolina. Remember the big writers' strike?
Yeah.
There was this writer's strike for like 18 months. TV started sucking. And so a lot of like that's when YouTube, that was the spark that turned YouTube to what it is. It created new opportunities for no famous person to create content and get an audience, right?
Right.
So you had all these like independent like music labels wanting to get into the TV game. So there was this record label, this group I followed. I won't say their names, but their little brother, and they and the name of the label, they were like, we want to start doing TV.
Right.
And they were out here for some show. I gave them one of my demos. They're like, yo, come write for us.
Nice.
So when I left Omaha, I was like, all right, I'm gonna go help launch this
Thing.
television thing
Yeah,
where
yeah.
I don't know what it is, but they want to make visuals. I'm going to be one of their writers and creators. They want to do comedy. I get out of North Carolina. I'm like, hey guys, I'm here. And they were like, that lie. And I'm just like, what? Like, and I remember I like, it was a big deal. It was a huge deal for me.
Oh yeah.
Literally, I was out there for 15 minutes. They're like, no, hey, we're changing. No, nothing. Just, we'll call you back. And I called them like email, like it was one of those things. I'm out here for these guys.
Yeah, that's why you picked up and moved.
It was, dude, nothing came. I remember, and it's just like the North Carolina comedy scene. Moranzio Vance, shout out to Moran. Today's his birthday. Moranzio Vance, Friday the 13th. Shout out to Moranzio.
Cool. Happy birthday, man.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, that's my guy. Like, so he's a North Carolina comedian, and this is back on Facebook. We were Facebook friends, and I was like, Moranzio, I'm moving to North Carolina. Where should I go, get on stage? And he was like, don't move to North Carolina. He's like, what are you thinking? Like, he's like, there's nothing there. Why are you going? Like, why would you go there? What's wrong with you? Went out there, and my comedy career kind of stopped. But Jamie Getchman,
Yeah.
he was running Virginia Beach.
Okay.
So like Colleen was like, yo, Jamie, Ercell's 4 hours away.
Yeah.
So Jamie actually gave me some key shows that kind of kept me in the game. And then I moved out to Phoenix.
Oh, okay. I didn't
Got
know
to
that.
Phoenix, bro. This is
you
11 and
lived
a
in
half
Glendale.
years ago. I was in Glendale.
That's right. Okay.
And like, yeah, Phoenix is crazy. Like Phoenix, it's the 5th largest metro. So it's
really?
huge.
Big
Yeah, it's
city.
huge.
Yeah.
And it's like they have this ordinance where you can only build so high.
Right.
So it's super spread out. So it's one of those things where like where Ted is sitting is another city, and they treat it that way. So even if there's a comedy club across the street, if this is Peoria and that's Glendale ain't coming. Yeah. So you can treat every little city as a different scene.
Yeah.
So
That's crazy.
So like to build your you can come up quick in Phoenix if you're strategic because every city's a new audience, and you might be 7 minutes away. So like I was in Phoenix for like a year and had a blast. And then my best friend planted a church, and he was like, yo, come out to Cali. I'm planning this church. I want you to be on my team. And I'm like, bro, we can't make money at church unless we're lying. And I don't want to lie. I don't want to lie about Jesus. He lied on me. I'm gonna like. He was like, bro, come out. And I came out, and literally, I get to Cali. I get an hour from LA, and my comedy career stops. I literally stopped. One day they handed me a camera. They're like, hey, will you start making videos for us? Started making videos, like church announcement stuff. Basically coming to the stage type stuff, right?
Right.
And and kind of fell into the film industry. So it's like the comedy for me, like, and I would get to do comedy in like the videos and stuff, but as far as like on stage, it came to a halting like, like it literally, like and here's the truth, for the longest time I felt guilty because I wasn't doing what I know I'm called to be doing.
Right. Yes.
Even though it was filtering out, I'm like, nah, I'm supposed to be in front of people.
Right.
I know that shit. Like, I know I'm beyond a shadow of a doubt, I'm supposed to be in front of folk. But it's like, for many, many years, I knew I wasn't ready. Like, when I was doing stand-up back here, I was doing stand-up for the stupidest stuff. Women, how much sex can I possibly get, and who's going to buy me alcohol? I had no purpose, no intention. Like, real talk.
That's
full transparency. It was like, oh, I can get laid? Well, what do I need to worry about anything else for, right? And it was like, and God's like, bro, I gave you something to say, and you trying to get. This is what you're using.
Like, I didn't give you that gift to get pussy,
bro. Like, yeah, real talk. Like, this is not what I called you to do. and I feel like God was like, I'm gonna sideline your ass until you're ready to be out and about, and be on your call. And so it's like, it's crazy, like. Because last week, Nick Allen had this show in Silver Creek. He's like, you want to come watch? I'm like, of course. It's 10 minutes away.
Yeah.
I get there. He's like, you're going to host, right? And I'm like, huh? He's like, you're going to host this show. It's just me, you, and John Tom.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right. And I got back on stage, bro. Yeah.
That
dude's hilarious. That dude is funny. but it was one of those things where it's like, crap, like, what do I say? And they're like, dude, just go up there and have fun. And I'll be honest, this is the first time in my life where now I'm standing on the side of the stage like, yo, let's just go have fun tonight. Like, who cares?
Right.
Let's have fun. Like, let's create fun for these people. And it's like, there's been a complete peace of mind. Like, yo, like, this is where I'm supposed to be. Like comedy wise. But I can't front. I was depressed for years. I was so sad. Like, I just missed this day.
Everything
So
is
sad.
all about timing, you know?
Yeah.
So when you realize maybe at the time that was not
Yeah.
the stage time,
Yeah.
but you have the skills
Yeah.
for stand up to be in front of people. That didn't
Yeah.
go away.
You
You're
can't
still
lose who
there.
you are.
You just take the time off from it.
Yeah.
You come right back. You picked it up where it was.
Yeah.
Boom. Right on
was
stage
fun.
again. Yeah.
It was nerve-wracking because it's like, even though you make these decisions, you still got to put the work in to commit to what it looks like in real time.
Right.
So, like, I'm telling myself, like, yo, like, I don't need approval from laughter. I believe in this. This is all that matters. But, like, even in the moment, you're just like, well, crap, do I want to stay committed to this because they ain't laughing? You know, it's like, this is scary. But it's almost like, nah, like, trust what's in your heart. Because none of us, like, I can never take out what's in your heart, ever.
Right. Yeah.
No matter how hard I try, that's your heart, bro. And so like realizing like, yo, let me just stick to this. Yeah. And tonight was fun. It was like, because there were a couple moments where I was like, yep, this feels like it's dipping. But it's almost like, nah, like, you're not here for that moment. You're here for the full set.
Yeah.
Right.
And that dip is a part of the process. Learn from it and keep it moving. So it was like, tonight was like, it was a great, and it was interesting. This guy gets on stage and it's just like, it was like, he was like, completely himself.
Yeah.
There wasn't like this switch of, now I'm in comedian mode.
Yeah.
It was like, no. Gabe
It's
was
just
Gabe.
Gabe is Gabe up there. Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, like, let me just pay it. Like, my thing is like, it's hard for me to watch comedians and not get jealous of the joke. Like, why did you write that? Right? So I'm trying to fan out, but I'm also like, let me watch this guy's posture. Because I think posture and context are key for comedy.
That's right. Yep.
And so it's like, as long as we understand our context, I don't have to paint every detail because you get where I'm coming from. I watched how you laid your jokes. I'm like, this guy's brilliant. This guy is literally, in a matter of a few moments and a few words, has set up context so everybody's with him.
Right.
He didn't have to explain one of his jokes.
No.
And I'm like, when I watch a comedian, if you don't have to explain, I'm like, you've set the tone. Like, you set your audience up for a good show. And I'm like, I'm sitting there just like, let me take notes. Don't do that. Say that. Brilliant stuff, bro. Real talk.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. Here's the thing. Let me tell you the first time I do comedy, okay? So when I was in pharmacy school, pharmacy school was not easy. It was really, really tough program.
Oh, yeah.
I may have like 2 or 3 hours sleep a night. And then at the time, I was a TA for organic chemistry. So I was teaching organic chemistry lab. And at the same time, I was going to pharmacy school.
Jesus.
And then I didn't have enough time to sleep. So right after my pharmacy school class, I have to go across the river. University of Iowa is a big campus.
Yeah, it
I had to
is.
go across the campus, go to undergrad chemistry building, teach organic chemistry lab. Sometimes it takes 4 hours to do the lab.
Damn.
I'm done at like 7 o'clock at night. Now I have maybe an hour to go to dinner and then go to the library. I'm in the library until 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. Then I do the same thing tomorrow. Wow. So
How the hell did you do that? Lots of coffee and 5-hour energy drinks and Red Bull?
What got me going was comedy.
Really?
So I would just watch a Comic View. I take a couple of minutes, maybe a 30-minute nap. I watch Simpsons. I watch The Simpsons.
The Simpsons are great. Who doesn't love The Simpsons?
Just watch The Simpsons for a little bit and then watch Comic View for like 30 minutes. And then I get my books, go to the library. So comedy was the one that kept me going. So I'm like, I love this, because it clears your brain. You're not thinking about, work. Just watch the show, have a good time, laugh for 30 minutes, and then go do some work. So in 2012, I was working from home, right? And I got bored at home, just doing nothing. I'm always home.
Right.
So every Monday, we would go to this Irish bar downtown Phoenix to watch Monday Night Football.
Yeah.
After the Monday Night Football, they do open mic. Right?
Oh.
So it became a routine. Every Monday, we just go to that place, watch football, and then stay there and watch the open mic. So one day, somebody didn't show up. This guy named Justin Phillip, he was the host. And he was like, hey, we got 5 minutes set. Somebody didn't show up. Anybody wants to get up on stage and do 5 minutes? I'm like, I'll do it. I was drunk, dude. I don't remember anything. So I went on the stage. Yeah, I did 5 minutes. I don't remember anything. I don't remember anything I talked about. It was fun. Everybody started laughing.
It must have been a great set.
Yes, they were, hey, we do this every Monday. You want to come back every Monday? Like, sure. Yeah. If you know me as a person, I'm not a very talkative person. I'm always quiet.
Mm-hmm.
But you put me on the stage, people start thinking, I don't believe this. I don't believe Gabe is doing this. So I started promoting on Facebook, and hey, I'm doing comedy here. And the people are like, no, I'm going to make sure this is a joke. This is the joke. Gabe is not doing stand-up.
The Gabe from class?
Yeah.
No, that's not him.
This is not real. So as people started coming to my shows, and then I met all the comedians. And hey, we put you on your show. Then next thing you know, I'm traveling. I'm doing this. So I'm like right here. Working with Josh Blue.
Yeah. Yeah. We were talking earlier about how,
Right.
like you said it yourself. It's all about that timing, being in the right place at the right time.
Yeah.
Getting the right soccer ball kicked to you.
Right.
It's all.
That's it.
And
then you talking about you quit comedy for a little bit. It was the right time. Yeah. God called you to do other things. Yeah. But then you were like, hey, you're gonna come back full slip now. You're gonna come back right in there. Yeah. And it's all. I keep telling young comedians, it's all about your stage presence.
Yeah.
The joke that I don't write jokes anymore. I don't write my jokes. So I did 45 minutes tonight.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't write any of my jokes before I got on the stage.
Really?
I didn't. I just look at the crowd. I saw you do your first set. I was sitting back there, and I saw the other guy doing the first. Okay, I'm thinking, okay, they like this joke. They may like this joke. So I just pick and choose based on who's in the audience. And it's how you talk about yourself. People can relate to you. Yeah. The people love to listen to your life stories.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, especially you. I mean, a guy from Africa who went to pharmacy school in Iowa, University of Iowa, and now is here doing comedy. It's like that's like what I have to know more.
It's an odd
There's
combination.
So many
right?
gaps. There's like what the hell?
Monday to Friday, I'm giving people drugs. I'm
A drug dealer.
making sure you don't die. And then you put me on the stage. It's like the polar opposite.
Yeah.
But I love it. I enjoy it, man.
And so do you still do pharmacy stuff?
Yeah, full time.
So that Monday to Friday, that is.
Yep, it's real. Like
So-
Wednesday when Colleen called me, I was at work. I was working. I keep my phone in front of me.
Right.
And I saw Colleen Homa funny bone. I'm like, oh yeah, you gotta answer that. I don't answer any calls. But I saw Colleen calling me. I'm like, I have to answer this.
Yeah, whenever the phone rings and it's Colleen, you answer it.
Yeah. And then she told me, hey, we had a fallout. Do you want to come fill up for the weekend? Like, definitely. You can't say no to that.
No.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, because you were here in March and now you're back headlining, early, which, to get that call from Colleen, that means, you made an impression on her. And because she remembers everyone's name and their face and their set, and especially if she doesn't like them. I mean, there's been people that have come out here, and I don't remember somebody. I don't think it wasn't Josh, but there was somebody in Denver that had a comic or recommended a comic come out here, and they were all right, but Colleen, didn't care for them, and so then she called him up and she was like, "So this is what passes for comedy in Denver?" It's like, and then there's the person was like, "Oh, well, okay." I guess.
It means a lot to me, man. It means a lot. So I appreciate what Colleen did, and then Josh actually the one that opened the door for me.
Yeah.
So it wasn't because of Josh I wouldn't be here,
That's dope.
So I texted him today. I told him, "Hey, dude, thank you so much for everything, man. You introduced me to Funny Bone Homer, and now I'm back here doing headlining." It was like, dude, congrats. That's awesome.
And then, once you get, in here, and then if Colleen starts spreading out the word and, it only opens more doors. I mean, Colleen, opens doors. I mean, crazy doors. I mean, Ercell can attest to it. He told her earlier about how she opened that door. Hey, come do this set, impress this girl.
Right. Yeah.
Colleen knows people. And when Colleen recommends someone to like a Des Moines or even to Mitch and Dave Stroop that books most of the clubs, when she says, "Hey, look at this guy," then they don't take it with lightly. They're like, "Oh, if Colleen's suggesting them, then this is."
She's been in business for a long time. She knows ins and out.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, she started at the old club back in 1988.
Right, that's a long time.
Yeah.
I was running around naked in Africa.
I was running around naked in Nashville. So I mean, nothing of mine was hitting the ground though. Besides my feet.
It's not the real.
Mine is watered down. When you said watered down, I was like, this guy is a genius. Because I look at it like, what's wrong with you? Why can't you function like the movies? But no, it's like, oh my gosh, that was so hilarious. It's not watered down. I was like, this guy.
But when you travel, man, you meet different people. Like when I was here back in March, I met Jason Reagan. You guys know Jason.
Oh
right?
yeah. We've had him. He's been on here several times.
He's a good guy. Jason is a really nice dude, and he introduced me to somebody in Missouri.
Oh really?
Yeah, this guy named Shaun.
Shaun O'Brien.
Yeah.
We love Shaun.
He books shows over in Missouri. So right now I'm communicating with Shaun, and it's because I met Jason here.
Yeah.
So like you said, it's the right time, the right place. So I might be going to Missouri doing a couple shows.
That's awesome.
Down there, Then next thing you know, I'm all over the place. I've been telling Funny Bone in Des Moines, like, people, you got to book me in Des Moines. This is my hometown.
Yeah.
I will sell this out.
If you go to Des Moines, they'll.
It's a homecoming. I get all my high school friends, my college friends, my family, everybody. I can sell this room out.
Yeah.
You don't have to make me the headliner. Just give me a little bit spot.
Yeah.
Then
Give me a feature and then see how many people I can draw.
How things go from there.
Well, because I think even when you were here in March, there were people here that you knew, right?
They drove from Minnesota. They drove from Iowa.
Wow.
Yeah, people drove like 3 hours just to come because they find out I'm coming here. With George Blue, right? But they drove back the same day, like 3 hours drive.
This is why we don't let Shaun on the board.
Hey,
thanks, Davis.
What does the green one do?
If someone wants to see push the green one.
I want to hear the green one. Am I colorblind? No. Yep, there we go. Hey, the money shot.
The right timing. You picked the right one.
The money.
He knew that was the laughter one.
That's right. It's green. That's the thing that pays. Money.
Oh, yeah.
So you're both from Arizona. Omaha.
Yeah. Okay. I grew up in Springfield, which is just a little bit south, a small town. But from Omaha. Been here the whole time.
Nice.
Shaun, you're from here, but you moved away with the Air Force.
I was in the Air Force from 93 to 97.
Were you flying and stuff? Were you in the planes?
No, absolutely.
Was you Maverick or was you Goose?
No.
No, he kept his ass on the ground.
I was Hollywood, dog. I was Hollywood. I was Iceman. You.
That new one's coming out.
I saw the trailer. I'm not gonna lie. It didn't. It did not do that for me at all. I was just like, oh, he's in a plane.
Yeah.
It's Tom Cruise with a bunch of pretty people I've never heard of. Oh, okay. I was like, there was not one ugly person in there. I'm like, Low key, Top Gun had a group of ugly dudes.
Oh yeah. It
It was a group of regular men,
back
salt
in
of
the
the earth.
the 90s. Yeah.
Bro, it seemed believable.
Yeah.
This new one, they were all models. I was like, there's no way they're that
And a
smart
bunch
to
of
fly
models
plane.
full in the
Models
Air
are not
Force.
that smart. There's no way they're. No, I don't believe this. No, like it did not. I can't lie. It did not. It didn't.
Yeah. I may have to wait till that one comes out on streaming.
Right. If it hits HBO Max, I'll watch it.
Yeah.
I waited for Batman, and I'll be honest, I'm an idiot. I thought that new Batman.
I still haven't seen it. I've heard.
Yeah,
that.
I haven't seen that either.
Movie is absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
When I saw the lead actor, the dude from the what was the wolf? Twilight.
Twilight. Yeah.
I immediately was like, that guy's he's terrible.
Bless you. You gonna make it over there?
He's like, I'm allergic to this conversation, Ercell. I'm allergic to what you're saying. He's like, but nah, I it's on HBO Max now, and it's like 3 hours, and I can't lie, that movie, it's like the story. My buddy was saying this. He's like Batman, the character. Everyone has their favorite, but it's like like Christian Bale. I was like, there'll never be a better Christian Bale. He was the best one.
Right.
There's always a better story. There's always a better writer. There's
true.
always an improvement. And it's like, I can't, when I watched that joint last week, I was like, holy cow, this movie. Is that the camera? Go watch the Batman.
Yeah, that's yours. Here, let me flip it to. There you go.
Go watch the Batman. That's so weird. Ted, I'm not this weird in real life. I promise. I'm a normal dude. This is just, I'm not this weird.
Fuck you, Ercell.
I'm not this weird in prison like this. This is weirder, Cell, but not real weird. You know, anyway. I'll be normal again tomorrow. I promise. And I'm getting the wings. This dude orders wings. So Ted's in the sound booth, right? And Ted, I'm like, so what's on the menu? What do you think I should get? What do you guys suggest? I took all the bad suggestions. Everything he suggests I should have got. But anyway, he was like, dude, you got to get the wings. I'm like, but I've had wings before. He gets the wings. I'm coming up in the back, and I'm walking in, and I look through the little rectangle, and Ted's just like, and I'm like, yo, this is pure joy, because I'm like, he didn't know I could see him.
Yeah.
I was like, why am I always creeping up on people eating? This is weird. But I was like, Ted, and then I pushed the door open and asked about time. He was like, and I was like, I'm just gonna shut this door, let him have his moment. But the wings here. That's all I gotta say. I'm not sure I got in that subject.
Okay. Maybe I'll get the wings tomorrow. Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
I'll do.
Okay.
Yeah. A lot of the stuff back there, they hand make, like the sauces and the chicken strips. I think we're back to hand breading them, and the mozzarella sticks, and so they, and the French fries are the fresh cut ones. So they do a lot of that prep stuff back there.
And this is this Brian Bendig's menu? Because when I left, he was transitioning to No.
So the menus are pretty much some corporate guy came in and standardized the menus across. Like the French fries are a Brian Bendig special, and there's I think there was a dish that Brian had put on the corporate menu.
Yeah.
But mostly it's the same across all the menus.
I can't wait to see that dude. That dude used to, when I got my DUI, there was as every comedian story goes.
Yeah.
There were two people that held me down. Brian Bendig and Mike Montez.
Yeah.
Mike Montez would bring me, that was my guy, because I lived out on Ames and 72nd, somewhere like Blondo and 72nd.
Yeah.
He would swoop me up on the weekends. Bendig would be like, just meet me down by Dodge, and I think it was 72nd and Dodge, that mall area. And he would take me when he had that little mini, and he was he would bring me up here every like those dudes were so like. The family of the Funny Bone is super solid because you have people that are willing to invest outside of what the function looks like to make sure your life is dope.
That's right. Yeah.
And we talk about it being a family all the time. And on here, we mention it, it's servers that have been on here, other staff have been on here, Colleen and comics, but Colleen's like our mom and how we're all like her misfit kids.
Yeah.
And, it is, family. It's not, just a job. And that's why people have been here for so long. That's why I've been here from coming up on 18 years.
Wow.
It was Kurt. Kurt was the third guy.
Oh, Kurt.
He was the young kid. He was the young. He was like the youngest kid on staff. He was like, that was my guy. Yeah, Curtis.
Yeah.
Curtis literally helped. That kid helped me. He would take. So where I got my DUI was in Sarpy County, right?
Okay.
And to get there, the bus stopped running like 2 miles from where you had to get.
Oh man.
And it was one of those things where like they were if you called in and they called your number to go breathalyze, you had to be there. You were going to jail. So there'd be times I'd be like, Curtis, bro, it's 7:15. I've got to be there by 8. He's like, I'm coming. And this dude would wake up because he was like, I understand you have something more you want to do with your life, and even though you're an idiot for getting the DUI, we're gonna hold you down.
Right,
Like this place. Anyway, I can ramble on and on about how amazing. I can't lie because it's like all these memories are coming back. Like, yo, like this is why this place is so special.
Yeah.
It's beyond the laughter. It's way beyond that.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm glad we Gabe, now you get to be a part of it.
Oh yeah, man.
You know,
this is wonderful.
Now
so far it's been just I feel like I belong here.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's dope.
Oh yeah, I feel that for sure.
That's dope.
Definitely.
And now that you've been in once, now Colleen will get you into the rotation where, we'll bring you back once a year.
I'm definitely looking forward to that. Hopefully I branch out to all the funny bones.
Yeah.
So Des Moines, Columbus, Ohio.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll be back. I'll be back. I know for sure I'll be back.
So if you're listening to this and you missed him because, you weren't paying attention to the website and you saw a guy that you knew definitely wasn't from Iowa, make sure you check him out and go back and follow him. Do you have a website, or are you just on Instagram, Facebook?
Instagram and Facebook. I'm working on getting the website up.
Okay.
It's not up yet. It will be up. But Instagram is at Dr. Gabe 2006.
Okay.
That's my Instagram. And then Facebook is just Gabe Biel, Biel.
Okay.
Gabe, Gabe.
So go check him out, and because we highly recommend him. And if you were fortunate enough to catch him while he's here, then
appreciate it. Thank you. I'm worried about Shaun. How you doing, man? You all right?
Mm-hmm.
You good?
He was like, look, I'm good. Just he's a,
This isn't abnormal for Shaun.
My guy.
Shaun's usually good for a comment every now and then. He'll throw something out there, but right now,
those are the intelligent people. The intelligent people don't speak much.
Yeah.
They don't talk a lot. They just sit back.
Thank you.
And then they
Thank
just
you
take
very
everything.
much.
Right?
that's why
Yeah.
Davis and I talk a lot. It's usually Davis and I that are the ones that are.
Y'all are hilarious.
No, it's good to be back, man. I'm glad I'm here, and it's just like a homecoming for me. That's why I'm sorry I left a little bit early.
No, that's all right. Yeah, there's a bit of a mix-up when I was doing a thing
Yeah.
for my kid's school function, and so I got here late, and then Davis's age flared up. So, and then Shaun was here, and I walk in, and I put my bag down. I was like, I'm gonna go say hi to the guys, and Shaun goes, okay, yeah, they're both on the patio. And he said, not. I'm like, all right, cool. So I go out and I talked to Ercell, 'cause I hadn't seen him forever, and said hi to the other guys, and then I looked in the green, and you weren't out there. And I looked in the green, you weren't there. And I peeked in the restroom, you weren't there. I looked in the office, looked in the green room.
Where the hell did you go?
Or in the ticket booth, and I was like, oh shit.
I was hiding in the shade.
You're
you
a
know?
funny guy.
you're hiding in the corner. Ah, fuck, I didn't
I
look
was there the whole time, dog.
You were staring at me, watching me look around.
You're a funny dude.
But no, so like, it must have been like really right after I left.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Maybe like 7 minutes.
Yeah.
Because Shaun said he asked you if you were gonna, if you were ready to record, and you said yeah. But
Yeah,
then
And then I left, but I keep my words. That's why I came back.
Yeah,
And
I appreciate that.
At the other place, I wanted to promote because this was like a last minute thing. I didn't have enough time to give people a heads up.
Right.
So hopefully tomorrow will be more people.
was it people that you went there with? Was it people that you know, or was it people that were
I
at the
just
show?
met him here, so they invited me to come over there. They know people that I know.
Gotcha.
So now the word's gonna get out even more. Especially tomorrow, we're gonna have this podcast and everything.
Yeah.
So they're gonna promote the show tomorrow. So hopefully it's gonna be more people.
That's awesome.
Because nobody knows me. I'm not famous, so nobody knows me.
Not famous yet.
Not yet.
Not
Yeah.
yet, bro.
I mean, you haven't been doing comedy that long. So.
Put that yet in there.
That's right.
Yeah.
So, I didn't have enough time to promote the show.
So that's a good question. Will you, you're doing comedy now. Do you think you'll ever get to that point where you quit the pharmacy job and just do
That
just
is
comedy?
the goal. That is the ultimate
Okay.
goal. So I submitted my video to Netflix, so I'm waiting to hear back from Netflix.
Come on.
And then we're going to record a special coming up, a clean comedy that's coming up maybe in a couple months, and we're going to submit that into Dry Bar Comedy, right?
Awesome.
So all of this, I'm just waiting to see what hits, you know. Then I have shows coming up in LA, and it's all about, we see you, they like you, they take you along with them. So we'll see. Ultimately, I like being a pharmacist. I like my job. But I really enjoy comedy. But comedy doesn't pay enough
I was
yet.
just going to say, I think the pharmacy job pays a lot more than the comedy job.
And the good thing about it is I can do both.
Right.
You know, I can do both and do comedy during the weekend or, short weekend.
Well, yeah, you
And
used
then
to
I
work
can-
on 2 hours of sleep. So I think
That's
you can
right,
do
yeah. I can
sell
do
drugs
both.
and tell jokes at the same
That's
time.
right. Legal drugs.
Legal drugs.
Legally.
Yeah, but so ultimately, whatever comes up, I'm waiting. If I can get a Netflix special, that would be nice. That would be awesome. And then my goal is to do commercials.
Oh, okay.
I love doing commercials. I don't have to do movies, but I want to do commercials.
So what about like TV series, like TV shows?
Yeah, that will work
Okay.
too. I'm working with an agency now based in Chicago. So I'm actually supposed to fly to Chicago and meet with my agent and go from there. Chicago is a different ballgame.
How
You
so?
know?
I've heard
The
that.
comedy scene there is different. I did one show in Chicago at the Laugh Factory. It was a Sunday. It was not a very good show, but I was exposed to the comedy scene there. It's not like Phoenix, So for me in Phoenix, I'm connected with the whole comedy scene.
Right.
Even though you may have, there's cliques here and there, but I don't have anybody that is against me. I'm friends with everybody in Phoenix. So that's why I do a lot of shows. Somebody will invite me to the shows. But in Chicago, different neighborhoods, the different kind of comedy,
Gotcha.
So you do urban comedy, you go to downtown Phoenix, downtown Chicago or suburbs, it's completely different. So it's hard to get in. So once you get into you break into that comedy scene, and then, you just go from there.
Yeah.
Second City is there.
Was it Zach Peterson last week that the episode we just put out yesterday that was talking about Chicago, Shaun? Do you remember?
Yeah.
No, you don't remember? No, I'm not surprised.
Wait.
We just talked to somebody recently that had I'm pretty sure it was the Zach Peterson one, and he had spent I think it was because he had lived up in Chicago for a while.
Right.
Yes, because we also had Tyler Walsh, and Tyler had gone there for a few months. But Zach was saying something like it took a full year in Chicago before he finally felt comfortable. Like he said, it was harsh.
Yeah.
In the comedy scene there, but then after the year, then it started to get easier.
Yeah.
And
That's what I heard. I've only been there a weekend, but I heard it's not easy to crack into that comedy scene.
yeah.
Yeah. What are you gonna say? You're gonna say
I was just
something?
ask you like, do you have any experience with Second City at all?
No, I've been there and just
Yeah.
never really performed there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
I like
interesting-
to go.
yeah. It's funny you say that because that's the one scene that I never heard that like description, but I just never heard anything about Chicago. Like it's almost like out of all the comedy scenes that you can go show up in, no one ever mentions Chicago. That makes sense why they don't now. That makes sense because that's one area I'm like, yeah, why don't people talk about going to Chicago?
That's right. Yeah.
For people moving to Austin, to Minnesota, to the Midwest, to LA, to New York, but no one's ever like, I'm going to move to Chicago to pursue
That's right.
comedy.
Yeah.
They come out of Chicago,
Yes.
but no one. That's interesting. That's interesting. Makes sense.
Yeah.
It is.
Because you get in there and you try, and then you're like, I'm coming out of Chicago.
I gotta go.
That's what you look at it like the music scene, the sports scene.
Right.
Yeah.
Like everyone, no one's like praying to go to the Chi.
No.
Like, but so much has come out of it though.
That's
Right.
right. Yeah.
It's like this incubator for talent, but you can't get into it. You've got to somehow be
Just
born in.
leave out there.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you look at all these icons, they came out of Chicago.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. There's a lot of
Well,
good comics.
yeah,
a lot of
yeah,
that
there
come out
are.
of
There
Chicago.
are
Yeah.
a lot of good comics, a lot of good talent.
I feel like New York City comedy scene is more friendly
Then Chicago.
than Chicago.
Really?
I think I've heard that. Yeah.
So 'cause I've been to Chicago to New York many times. So I have connection in New York right now. That's how I met Jerry Seinfeld.
You met Seinfeld?
Wait, hold on.
Whoa.
We've been recording for all this time. It's like, oh yeah, by the way, I've got a Jerry Seinfeld song in my pocket. Like,
I know Seinfeld.
this guy's a
no big deal.
magician.
I know,
Will
right?
you please tell us the story?
Yeah, for sure.
So at Gotham Comedy, Gotham is one of the top comedy clubs in New York City.
Oh yeah.
They have this thing called New Talent Search, right? So they book new comedians from all over the country. Before I went to Gotham, I did a couple of shows at the Stand Up New York. So yeah, this guy named Bob DeBure, he's the regular at Comedy Central. So somebody sent me his email, and I emailed him, and he was like, I can put you on a show at the Stand Up New York. So I went to New York City, I did a couple of shows there, I come back again. So then I met somebody else who knows somebody at Gotham.
Yeah.
So I emailed them, and they're like, "Yeah, we have a new talent search, so you can put you on the show." And Jim Gaffigan, Jerry Seinfeld, they're regular there. They stop by any time, right? And it's always sells out.
Yeah.
So I'm like, "Oh yeah, put me on the show." So I went to Gotham, did a show at Gotham, and Jerry was there that day.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
What did he say?
We were sitting in the back in the green room, and he was just a nice guy.
Yeah.
Jerry's a good dude. He was just giving us all this advice about how to become a comedian and don't burn bridges. The same time about writing jokes. If you wrote a joke when you were a brand new comedian, don't throw it away.
Yeah.
Go back to that joke again when you know how to deliver jokes. When you know you're a stage presence, now you know how to tell jokes. Now you go back to your whole jokes, rewrite them, and then tell them again.
Yeah.
That's what I've been doing the last couple of months, just going back to my old jokes that I stopped telling. Just rewriting them and then retelling them, and they're funny because now I know how to tell a joke.
Right.
So Jerry went before I went on stage.
Oh really?
Yeah, I had to follow Jerry.
So Jerry opened for you.
That's right. What do they do?
There it is.
Yep. Jerry
That's right,
yeah, that's your credit. Jerry Seinfeld opened for me.
They show up. They let them go on stage because it was an immature show, right?
Right.
Jim Gaffigan and Jerry, they're regular. They just randomly show up and then they do a set and then they leave. So they had to put them in right before I get on. And it was a sellout show. 250 people.
Nice.
Perfect. I have a video of it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's on YouTube.
Oh, that's
show.
awesome.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But again, it's just being the right place at the right time. And I feel comfortable in New York City than in Chicago. So again, LA, I'm close to LA. I go to LA a lot, all the time.
Right.
Either for comedy or just for fun. So, but I feel New York City was more welcoming.
So you won't rule out a move to New York City if it turned to be that way, where you're getting more out there, you're knowing more people out there. You wouldn't be opposed. Would you be opposed to moving to New York City to trying to get into that comedy scene?
The thing is, I have a kid. I have a 12-year-old boy, and he lives in California, so it's closer for me to go see him.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So if I move to New York, it's too far away from him.
Right.
So that would be the only thing that would keep me back.
No,
Otherwise,
that makes
New
sense.
York is cool. I wouldn't mind living in New York, but I don't think I'll leave there for too long.
Well, yeah, it gets cold up there. They have snow and cold.
That's right. I like visiting New York City, but it's good to get out. I would go do my commercials and then I'd get out.
There you go. Yeah. Go film some commercials, film a
Yeah.
couple episodes of Law and Order SVU,
That's
and
right.
then get out.
Yeah.
Chung chung.
A cool place, a good place that I really like to live, Austin, Texas.
Yeah, Austin's dope.
Austin, Texas is very unique compared to the rest of Texas.
Really?
I was just in Austin a couple of weeks ago. I went golfing there.
Really?
Yeah. I play golf.
That's not.
He said it like y'all were doubting when he's like, I play golf.
Yeah, I know, right?
Don't you think I play this game, right?
And just the slow pace, even though there's a lot of people moving to Austin,
Yeah.
but it's still, you feel the big city at the same time small.
Well, there's a lot of people that's moving from LA and stuff down to Texas, and I think Austin is where they're landing, isn't it?
A lot of tax companies are moving to Austin. I think they don't have state tax or some sort.
Yeah, it's super. I don't think it is any.
Yeah.
There's no state tax there.
So a lot of tax companies from the Bay Area, they're moving to Austin or Reno, Nevada, one of those two places. So every month there's about 10,000 people moving to Austin.
Yeah.
So the construction right now is just congested. The traffic is getting bad.
Oh, I'm
I
sure.
bet it is.
Yeah.
I bet it is.
And
But it's a good town. I love Austin.
I've never been south to down there.
Yeah.
Gotta go.
Just check it out. They have good food.
I do like to eat, that's for sure.
Indeed.
My brother from high school, my American brother, his name is Ryan, he lives there. So I was visiting him at the same time playing golf.
Nice. So when you were here last, Yes, I don't know if it was here, if it was on the before or after we started recording, but we were talking about I did work here that Saturday night when you were here with Josh.
Okay.
And because I remember because I went to go talk to you at some point, or we were talking after the show, and you got a call. You're like, oh, hold on, I got to go take this. This is my family back in Africa calling me.
Right.
So I was like, really? And you're like, yeah. It's like, all right. So obviously you talk about family here. So, but what family do you still have back in Africa?
So my entire family is still there except my older brother.
Okay.
So my older brother is the one that brought me to U.S. So he came in 93, and then he brought me here in 95.
Okay.
He lives in Seattle, Washington right now. So the rest of my entire family is back in Africa. It's in Ethiopia. And I have a bunch of cousins that live here. I have 2 cousins in Canada. I have a cousin that lives in Des Moines, but he goes to Alaska. Then I have a cousin that lives in Minnesota. And I have another cousin that lives in Denver.
Man, they're all over.
Yeah, we just like everywhere.
You got all kinds of places to go vacation and visit family.
So when I get a gig, I would just pick a place where I know I have family there.
Yeah.
I just go see my family and then do a show.
It's a good plan.
Yeah, that's a good
Right.
plan.
Yeah, and then I have my American family that I met when I was in high school.
Gotcha.
So they from Iowa. So those are my family. So when I say I'm going to see my family in Iowa, those are my family that I'm going to go see.
Mm-hmm.
And so everything I talk about up here is real life stories.
Right.
You know, living in Iowa, all the stuff that you heard about.
Oh,
Iowa,
yeah.
the real tourist story. I have a
Yeah.
lot more.
I'm sure. Well, and when I saw you, I only got to see the feature set, the 25-minute set.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
I was like, oh, man, I'm sure there's even more in the 45-minute headliner set.
Yeah. Yeah, 25 is a good set, but you have to condense the joke a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
You know, and people, you know, obviously, you know, you're one of those split headliners where you can feature and then you can obviously headline. And there are people that are like, say, oh, you know, not with you and Josh, but when we have feature headliners that work together, they're like, oh, I like the middle guy better than the last guy. I was like, well, yeah, because the feature act, he's also a headliner.
That's
so
right.
he can take his 45 minutes and take down just his best 25 and
25.
throw that at you.
That's
So
right.
that's why you liked him better.
Yes.
Because it wasn't spread over that whole time.
Right.
But yours, I'm sure you're spread over 45. Like you said, you condensed the jokes. I'm sure stretching that out it only adds to it. It makes
Adds
it,
more.
you know, it's not like, you know, you're slowing it down by stretching it out. You're improving it and enhancing it because there's details that we didn't get to hear in the 25 minutes.
That's right, yeah. And you connect with audience.
Right.
That makes it even easier because you connect with audience. They're following your life stories. You're telling them everything about you as a person, and you just take them along with you.
Yep.
You know? So you're mentioning about grabbing attention right away. So what you do is what I learned as a comedian is you tell your best. You open your act with the best jokes, the second best, right? Grab everybody's attention. Get people's attention. When you get them, you got them. That's it. You just carry them along, tell them what they want to hear, and you feed them with laugh. So ultimately, all you want to just make people laugh, have a good time. So you can grab their attention right away within the first 5 minutes, and then you can carry them along with you.
And they'll go with you the whole ride.
Yeah, yeah. As long as you don't talk too much. You talk, but make sure there's something funny in there.
Right.
You know? If you talk for a long time and they're not laughing, you lose them quickly.
Right.
And you have to bring them back. Now that's a lot of work.
Well, and I don't know if you do this on purpose, but it seemed like you have some pauses, like, and just your pause when you pause between stuff or between the next thing. It's one of those funny pauses where, you know, like you pause and then you laugh because you pause, or you're anticipating what you're going to say next because you think you're going to go this way, and sometimes you go left, like I'm
Right.
thinking, and sometimes you go right. And,
That's right.
You know, and so you never know with those pauses, and
Yes.
so when you have those pauses,
Yeah.
it's, you know, are those intentionally built in? Some of them, yes, maybe some of them not so much.
I took some comedy classes. One of the classes that I took was a guy named T.A. Borrow. And he's based in Phoenix. But he does music and he also does comedy.
Okay.
And he was talking about one thing I got away from. It was just one class. One time someone invited him to come to the open mic, and he was like telling us these young comedians. And he talked about the pause. You know, okay, you're going to pause now. But what is it that mean for the next step? So you want to make sure you're pausing at the same time you keep people attention. So then you move to the next step. So you're not pausing to make sure you lose them, but they were anticipating something.
Mm-hmm.
So that pause is a transition from the last joke to the next one. But you do it in a smart way to keep people attention, to keep going.
Gotcha.
And that's one thing I got away from him. I'm like, this is really brilliant. This is nice.
Yeah, and you do it so well.
Oh, thank you, man.
Yeah, I mean, because again, you're not sure where you're going, you know, and it's not that bang, bang, bang. Because
Right.
some of the comics come in and they try and keep the crowd with the constant rolling laughter.
Yeah.
And Omaha's not like that. Omaha is, and a lot of comics will come in and they'll say that because Omaha's like ha ha ha, and then they stop because they don't want to miss what you're gonna say next.
Right. Yes.
So they laugh and then they come down because some of the comics are like, oh, you guys get quiet quickly. It's like, well, yeah, they want to hear what you have to say. But your pauses play well into, you know, that Midwest pause, and, you know, you keep their attention and keep it
It's
fun.
small techniques, tiny little
That's good
techniques,
stuff.
you know.
So I'm taking class right now. My fault. So, bro, Vinny, that's like, you're right. Like, there's a certain pace that we've got to also allow our audience to come back with us.
Yeah.
And there have been times I'm like, you rush because you're excited. You want to get to that next laugh, but it's like they're still experiencing that punch.
Yeah.
Yep.
Let them come back to. Oh, that's good stuff, dude.
Yeah.
When's your class gonna get good?
Just
Bro.
because they stop laughing doesn't mean they're not with you.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah,
They're still laughing. There's some people that laugh inside without being loud.
yeah.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
they're smiling. You can see their faces.
So good.
But you
yeah.
still can take them along to the next path.
Yep.
To the next step. You don't have to like keep punching and punching the whole time. Just give them a little space. Let them think about it. Sometimes not everybody gets the joke right away.
No.
You know,
Especially if they're drunk or they're high or,
Right.
or both or
Right. Most people may get it right away. And there's fewer people back there. They're like, "Oh, this is funny." Then they start laughing before you get to the next step while everybody's pausing.
Right.
And they're like, "See, that guy is getting it now."
That's so true. That's so true. Yeah.
And then that gives you a little bit of time to think about what it is you want to go next.
Yeah.
You want to go back to something you talked about before, or you want to start something new.
Yeah.
So the topic may be different.
So do you have like a file cabinet of like are your jokes spread out over subject? So like, you know, like, okay, if I'm talking about pizza,
Right.
I know I have 35 different pizza jokes. So if I need to jump back in the box,
Right.
okay, I got you.
Yeah,
That makes sense. That makes sense.
You do that, and then you can either go back to this same topic you talked about in the beginning,
Yeah.
and you connect it with something else,
Mm-hmm.
and then the transitional period is what is the first one connect to the new one. You know, now this new one you begin something they already know, they're familiar because you already talked about that, but now you're going to take them to another road.
Got you.
You know, you were talking about you're going to go left or right. Now
Yeah.
you reconnect to something before, but now you're going to take them to a different path.
What is your, like, what's that pivotal moment, or what are you sensing for in the audience that gives you that moment? Like what are you looking for to go there?
Because it depends on the end of the last joke.
Okay.
So if the last joke ends really well,
Yeah.
and you say, okay, they like this topic.
Yeah.
So let's take them to another topic that's related to this,
Yeah.
but completely different punchlines.
Okay.
You know, you already got them. They already know what you talked about.
Yeah.
But now they like this topic. Let's go talk about something that's related to that, but completely different telling.
Yeah.
So you keep them in the loop.
So,
Good stuff.
so the way you're talking
trying to-
about that, and you're thinking, and you're going through this, it's
Man, I
very.
take notes.
You can go back and watch this later.
I'm like, I will.
Right?
So the way that you're talking about this, you're analyzing, you're thinking that all while you're doing that. And do you think that spending all the time going to pharmacy and studying and doing all that stuff, do you think having to be the analytical, because pharmacy school, you've got, what was it, 6 years, 8 years that you had to go?
Yeah.
I
It's
mean,
minimum of 6 years.
yeah, that's a lot of school and a lot of stuff like that. Do you think doing that stuff has kind of trained your brain to react to the situation?
I
and
think
do
you're
stuff like
right.
that?
I was just going to mention that. You're a smart man. You picked that up real quick. I think it's a lot to do with my training, my background training. And like you said, pharmacy is all about solving problems. You
Right.
analyze everything. You know, you see a prescription, everything is on that prescription means something.
Right.
You have to analyze everything. If there's something that doesn't add up, you have to like, okay, something's not right. So we have to call the doctor and say, what do you mean by this? Why do you put this comma over here? Or what does this mean over here? It doesn't go along with the rest of the prescription. Or sometimes they mess it all up completely. You have to call them like, that's not how you do it. So every single day I'm sitting in my office working is analyzing, solving problems. So I think it has a lot to do with that. So I look at the audience, I can analyze them. I can look and see, okay, this is what they may like, this is what they may not like. I did a show in Prescott, Arizona a couple of weeks ago, and I was the headliner there. And I looked inside the room. It's all like this didn't have a black person there. There was no single. I was the only black person.
You were the black person in the room?
It was a sold-out show, like 200 people. But the majority was all old white people.
Oh, wow.
Right? And I looked at them, I'm like, okay. White people in my audience. I can make white people laugh easy, right? But this is, it was a whole show, 7 o'clock show, mostly old people.
Right.
They're not all old, but like middle-aged, up to 60. They were drinking wine, they're having dinner, and I looked at them, okay. I know what they may like. I know what they may not like. Most likely they don't like Obama.
That'd be a safe bet.
Now I'm going to say I don't like Obama too. But then, you sit back and look at this first comedians, they would go on there and you see if they're laughing, they're not laughing. You analyze the audience, you connect with them. Because that's what comedy is all about. You connect with the people.
Oh, yeah.
And so, again, going back to what you mentioned, it's all about analyzing, seeing the environment, connect with them, tell them what they expect you to tell them. But then you take them on a ride. And then, like I said, people love to listen to your life stories. Yeah. I think because I'm African, I can get away with some things, right? Like being African American, you may get in trouble saying something that I said.
Well, and also your voice, your accent,
right?
Just not even necessarily what you say, but just how it comes out, and hearing it with the tone and the inflection and stuff like that. Right, yeah. You can get away with some of that stuff as well.
That's right. Yeah.
Just by doing nothing other than the way that you speak.
And just by showing up on the stage, I'm from Iowa. That's already fun.
Yeah, exactly. And the way that you say it with your accent, and people are like, clearly not.
That's the first time, actually, that I'm from Iowa joke was not supposed to be a joke. I just made that up one night, and then there's a guy on a wheelchair sitting on the corner. And it was like, that's bullshit. You're not from Iowa. And because you said that, everybody started laughing. Like, I'm going to keep that joke. Yeah. That's funny.
Yep, it stays in the act.
Yeah.
Just because you're in a wheelchair does not mean you can heckle, though.
No. Okay? Oh, God, no.
Right, Gabe was being nice. You might get rolled out of the club if you scream and your legs are tired. We don't need your help. They got this.
In
the day and age where comedians are getting tackled and stabbed at, the audience needs to know their boundaries.
Yes. Yeah, we've talked about that on here many times, and don't come towards the stage for any reason.
Right.
There's this video, and I wish I had like the full comedy view of it. It's this dude on a guitar. I know you guys have seen it. This dude, or maybe like this dude on the guitar, and the video starts with him at the end of his insult. So he's like insulting a heckler, but the crowd doesn't hear the heckler. So they're like, why are you making fun of her? What did she do? So he's like, well, she was talking trash to me. So then the guy, apparently somebody gets up and rushes the stage. So all you see is him, come on, motherfucker. And he has his guitar and he hits the guy with the guitar.
I've seen that.
And I saw that video. The crowd turns on him. They're like, oh, you shouldn't have done that. And so then he walks off stage. It's like, I think I've been heckled many, many times. And I'll be honest, like every time I got heckled, I was like, "Yep, I was sucking. I deserved." They helped the movement.
Yeah.
But I think we're in a day and age now where people get so offended that the heckle isn't good spirited.
Yeah,
and it's almost like when I saw Dave get tackled, I was like, "Word, what is happening now? Like what are we at a place where my story that I'm sharing in my narrative now, if you don't agree with everything or if it doesn't compliment you, we're now enemies.
Yeah.
It's like that stuff is I don't know. It's a wild thing to experience and see. Hey, how you feeling?
You talking to
Yeah,
me?
I'm talking to you. How you feeling?
Bitch.
How you feeling?
I'm good.
Yeah, on a scale of 1 to 2, 1 being good and 2 not being good.
1.
There you go, my guy. See, you passed the test. You passed the test.
Yeah.
You're funny.
Well, guys, this has been a lot of fun, and I learned a lot, and I hope all the listeners got something out of these stories, and learned a little bit something. I know Ercell's going to go back and take notes. That's for sure.
You damn right, bro. My brother, doctor, professor, advisor, mentor,
Teacher.
My gosh, no, they just everything you said. I'm like, there's a technical strategy.
Yeah.
To understanding your audience that you're mastering, bro. That's
right.
amazing, dog. That's amazing.
Gabe,
Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming back.
Thank you so much, man.
Sorry we missed each other in the path, but I really do appreciate you coming back. This is it's been a lot of fun. And,
Appreciate it, man. Yeah, you put a lot of work in there, and I promised I was going to come and do this, so it means a lot to me.
Yeah.
So yeah, appreciate it. Thank you. Good to see you guys again.
Good to see you again. Like you said, check out his Instagram and Facebook, Gabe Biel on Facebook. And what was the Instagram again?
It's at Dr. Gabe 2006. Dr. Gabe 206.
Dr. Gabe.
And Ercell, you got any socials you want to plug?
At Black Love 85943218347. I'm not the only one. You know what I'm saying? I came there late to the party. I was like,
Clearly.
man, are you serious? Am I not the only? No. Ercell Ivanhoe, ErcellIvanhoe. That's my social media. You type in Ercell, I'm probably the first one that'll show up on Instagram. So, because there's a lot of us, but we're few. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So find me. I'd love to connect.
Make sure you check us out, Door Guys Pod on Instagram, Facebook, and the email doorguyspod@yahoo.com. We used to have a couple of regular emailers, and then they've kind of dropped off. I don't know if we've pissed them off, if they stopped listening, if they got tired of waiting for Davis to send them the T-shirts that he said he was going to send them, and he hasn't got them in yet. I don't know what the deal with those are. So maybe after his AIDS flares down, then maybe he can get some T-shirts ordered.
Damn AIDS flare up every time.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Bro, thank you so much, guys.
And make sure you guys like and subscribe us. Following would be appreciated. Likes and subscribes on the videos and everything, we would appreciate those as well. Thanks again, guys. We'll see you soon.
Later.
You're listening to the Dog Eyes! The motherfucking Dog Eyes! Talking about the big slab! Banana!
Oh, God.
That's great. That's